Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tarun Karthik, and today we are going to be talking about something that everyone wants to explore, is exploring, or has explored at some point of their time in their life. And this is something that has not only rocked the world of technology, but has also rocked the world of science, commerce, arts, everything out there, right? And we are talking about artificial intelligence, or AI. So today we are going to be covering some of the most important questions that is asked when we are introduced to AI, which is what, why, where, and how, right? So what is something that I'm going to be covering over the series? What is AI? But I'm going to be answering the next three questions that is asked: why, where, and how. Right? So yeah, let's get started. Right? So the first place, in order to understand what artificial intelligence is, we need to understand what intelligence in itself is. And intelligence is the cognitive faculty to assimilate, synthesize, and operationalize information for adaptive problem solving and situational responsiveness. So, paraphrasing that in more basic words, is intelligence is the ability to learn, understand, and apply knowledge to solve problems and adapt to change. Now, you might ask me, why didn't I just say the basic statement and say the more, let's say, advanced and more jargonized statement? The reason is because that is what intelligence is. One set of people will be able to understand what I said in the first place, while the others needed me to paraphrase my sentence. And the middle is the process of exchange, where I'm converting the more advanced statement into the more basic statement. And that is what AI should be able to do. When we are conveying something, it should be able to understand that and process it with its own computer systems, right? So yes, that is what intelligence in itself is. Again, repeating my point, intelligence is the ability to learn, understand, and apply knowledge to solve problems and adapt to change, right? So basically, what we understand from this is that humans, right, we have the ability to learn because over time we have done different things by learning and experiencing. For example, we learned how to make cars, bikes, and vehicles by first experimenting and creating the wheel. We saw something that was round and rolled down, and we were like, okay, this might be useful at some point of our lives, and now it's become a really important point of our lives, right? And understand, again, taking the example of the wheel, we could have just let it be a phenomenon or something like, oh, that's just something random and it's happening every day now, what's the point of it? But our ancestors chose to understand what the wheel is and how it can be useful to us, right? So they chose to experiment with the wheels by creating carts, and then over time creating locomotives, cars, bikes, etc. And yeah, that is what understanding is. And then we have application. Again, the application is the creation of the cars, the bikes, and everything, right? The wheel has been used in many places, and that is all because we chose to apply the understanding and the ability that we used to learn, right? So to solve problems and adapt to change, what problem did we have that was necessary for the creation of the wheel? Transportation. Transportation is a major problem that we all had. We all had to walk or use animals such as horses and everything for us to, go somewhere, right? I mean, yes, horses are useful, but we can only seat one person in that. But by creating a cart with four wheels, we could accommodate at least four people with one horse. And over time, we have created cars, bikes, and everything with that. So we created vehicles to solve the problem of commuting, right? And adapt to change. So we adapted from moving with our very own legs, which was a tedious task, to now be able to commute with 4 or 3 or 2 wheels. Alright, so that is the basic introduction that we have covered. Now we are going to be talking about why AI. So AI is not just a tool that we are using, but rather it's helping us to understand what we can do and reach the extremes of technology, right? So right, for taking for example, we have we have the Dartmouth Summer Research Project on Artificial Intelligence, which was around 1956, right? So these people were just a bunch of people who wanted to do research on artificial intelligence to understand if a computer can be able to simulate and understand the problems that are exclusive to humans, and be able to build upon those problems and improve on themselves, right? So that is the initial point of why AI was even proposed in the first place. Just give me a second. Alright, so what started as an experiment now became a whole entire crucial point for us in our careers, our daily lives, etc. Right? So why is AI useful today? Right? AI is useful for many things. First of all, we have AI in our daily lives, right? So everyone's aware of ChatGPT. Not everyone is, but in today's world, most of us are. And for those who are not aware of what ChatGPT is, it is an artificial intelligence tool that you can use to communicate and find solutions to your problems, right? So let's say you want to study a certain topic. Let's say in physics you want to understand what inertia is, and you don't understand the textbook terms of what inertia is. So you go to ChatGPT and you ask, what is inertia? And it gives you a certain set of words, and you don't really understand what it says. You could ask ChatGPT to rationalize the content it has sent you, for you to be able to understand it. And it generates the same thing, but in a more simple to understand language, in layman's terms, basically. So that is one of the use cases of AI. The other case could be for debugging a program that you would like to work on. Let's say you have a really steep deadline and you don't really have the proper team to be able to help you out and debug the program, right? So basically, you could ask ChatGPT, or you could ask, let's say, Claude AI or a Copilot to be able to help you out and debug the program. So you can input your program into the chat and ask ChatGPT, what suggestions can you make for me to debug the program? I'm not able to find the bug. ChatGPT will be able to find the bug and help you fix it. And you can even ask it to improvise in your program and make it more comfortable and easier to understand, or somewhat have more features and make it really nice looking and everything. So that is another use case of ChatGPT. Moving on from studies and work, we could use ChatGPT to be able to help us with communication and everything. So let's say you have an interview tomorrow, but you're not really the best at talking to people. You could ask ChatGPT to help you out with mock interviews, because ChatGPT now has a speaking function where you could speak to ChatGPT itself, right? So you could ask it to be your interviewee, and you could give an interview, so it can help you suggest different let's say speeches, or you know, what you could say to your interviewee to impress them. So yeah, that's another use case for ChatGPT. You could use it to help you with debates and other, like, you know, speeches and everything. So yeah, now we are going to be moving on to where is AI used, right? So there are many places where AI can be used and is used, but we are going to be talking about 5 use cases here. So first off is biological experiments. So in biological experiments and studying biology and biotech, we have cases like studying genes, the DNA, different microbes, and everything. So we could use AI to be able to extract patterns in the genes and DNA. We could use AI to demolecularize and help us find different genes or something in DNA. I'm sorry, I'm not a biology student, so I'm not really well versed on its use cases, but we could use AI in many cases for biology, especially with medicine too. Moving on, we have finance. Moving on from the science aspect, so AI can be used to predict the stock market and help you with the prices. So we could create an AI program to be able to predict the stock market and look at the different prices and the analytics with the up and downs. So we could use AI to be able to help us understand what stocks are and what we should invest our money in and what we should buy and what not to buy, right? So we could automate finances and everything with AI. And moving on to the next topic, which is again science, chemoinformatics, right? So we could use AI to study chemistry and help us with chemical experiments. So let's say you have a certain element and another element, right? You have hydrogen and sulfate, and you want to see what happens when you're reacting the two. Okay, let me give you a better and easier to understand example. You have hydrogen, dihydrogen, and oxygen, right? So you want to know what happens when you merge the two, but you don't really have the lab facilities to be able to synthesize H2O or water. So you can ask AI to help you out with the reactions, and it can help you understand how the reaction works and how you can really identify if a reaction took place or not. And it also reduces the amount of manpower you need to create these chemicals, synthesize these chemicals, and it also reduces the chances of failure. So yeah, moving on, we have sports, which is a less professional and more, let's say, fun to use aspect, but you can professionalize sports and AI too. So sports can be, AI can be used in sports to predict and help us understand the sport in itself. Let's take cricket, for example, right? So AI can be used to understand past matches and check on previous data and player scores and commentaries to be able to understand the player and check if they can really win the match that's coming up or not, right? So this is a separate field of sports known as sports analytics, which is more professional aspect. So yeah, it can be used to study earlier data and create meaningful predictions, right? And moving on to e-commerce, you all know what e-commerce is, right? So is like online shopping, right? So when you are shopping on Amazon and or eBay, Flipkart, all those websites. So basically AI can be, and I think it is used in AI today for creating suggestive algorithms. Basically let's say you go to Amazon and let's say you want to buy AirPods, right? Or like a laptop or something. So when you search up AirPods, right, and when you search up AirPods, it's going to show you the AirPods, and in the next second you're going to get several recommendations for other earphones or like cases for your AirPods based on the shopping history of others. Let's say that when I buy my AirPods, I buy a case for it. Right? It's going to suggest cases to you too, because it's going to assume you might also need it, right? And when I'm shopping for a laptop, let's say someone else bought a MacBook and they bought a USB-C dock so they can connect, you know, their USB-A devices and HDMI and everything. So basically, this AI is helping the e-commerce retailers and you to be able to, you know, get a better reach with products and what not you need and everything, right? So here's a question for you guys to think about, right? Whatever you're studying or whatever you're doing in life, right? Think about how AI can impact, you know, your field of study, work, or whatever you're doing in life. So basically, I'm a computer science student, and what AI can do in computer science is it can help with programs. Like I said, it can help me debug my programs, and it can even help me write programs and improvise on programs. And it can also be used for, you know, deep learning and passing through data. Let's say I have an entire 1 terabyte drive of different programs, videos, photos and songs and everything. I can ask the AI to help me out, help me find a certain file that I need without having to, you know, go through a bunch of folders and everything. So yeah, that is the let's say that is the where aspect of AI, right? And we are moving on to the how aspect of AI. So how did AI even come into the world, right? Who conceived the idea of AI? So again, we have to understand the history of AI by starting with the Dartmouth Summer Research Project on Artificial Intelligence, which happened around 1956. This is way before we had our, you know, first PCs and everything, right? So we have to understand a few key terms, which I have an entire paragraph here. I'm just gonna find the key terms and let you guys know. So AI, yeah. So AI is used to simulate human intelligence and be able to understand languages and solve the problems that is exclusive to humans and reserved to humans, so that it can improve on themselves, themselves being the artificial intelligence itself, and improvise just like how humans over the years had different problems and was able to build on those problems themselves and you know, find solutions to them, right? So that's how AI was introduced as a concept. And we have John McCarthy, who's known as the father of AI, who founded AI in itself, right? So I don't have a complete history of AI yet. That is for another video. So as of now, that is the conclusion of today's video. So that is how that is the 3 important questions of AI covered in one video, right? Don't worry, I will be introducing on what AI, I will be introducing to you guys what AI is in further videos, right? And I'm going to be even teaching you guys on how and when we can use AIs and how we can really use AI to its full potential. So as of now, that's a conclusion to today's video. Thank you guys, and goodbye.